Well, Matt, that was a real shame that my first attempt at simply pressing record didn't quite work and you couldn't hear me. Um, what happened? All I heard was within the first couple of seconds, the most expletives come out of your mouth ever within a short period of time, and I couldn't tell what happened. What happened?
I dropped my microphone.
Oh, okay. Is it working okay?
It seems to be. You can hear me all right, can't you?
Oh, I don't know if you're using a backup now.
You can hear me fine, can't you?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, it's good.
It was very amusing. I tried pressing record as quickly as I could because I was hoping your rant was going to continue, but then you couldn't hear anything I was saying. So unfortunately, it will be lost to the yes. Nobody will ever get to hear that, which is appropriate because there was one other thing that we recorded probably about 2 weeks ago that will never be heard either. But technically, this will be part 2 as far as we're concerned, Matt. So I thought you'd make a great Agony Uncle. So I have this week. I actually have a wrestling related one. So I was wondering what you would make of this. Okay, let me find the comment first of all. Let me scroll down a little bit because I'm not quite prepared. All right, this was from at Lady Frost. At Real Lady Frost. I apologize.
Friend of the show.
Just got a cameo request from a dad that wants me to tell his daughter happy birthday from ... her favorite WWE superstar. Do I lie? Do I break her heart and tell her I don't even go there? This is a $31 question. Answer accordingly. All right. I don't know if you actually even saw that tweet. I'm kind of hoping you didn't because I like to put you on.
I didn't. If Lady Frost is his daughter's favorite wrestler, then she'll already know that she's not a WWE superstar. This is again, unfortunately, a part where you get the parent who doesn't watch the products, isn't a part of a face at all, and gets what they think is the right thing for their kids. This is along the same sort of lines of, I'll go. You like, for example, Graham. If say for example, one day if Mason had an Xbox, for example, you were to go into GameStop or something like that, and you'd ask, could I get the latest FIFA or Madden, for example, and because you don't know enough about stuff, although to be fair, if you knew wanted about games, you'd be asking me anyway. To be fair,
I wouldn't be getting FIFA 22 because I heard it wasn't very good from a short review on Radio Techers today.
Yes, but you wouldn't know one from another sometimes, and you could have the latest copy of this game, and knowing your luck, you'd be going in the day before this game came out, and you'd go out with last year's game. Have seen that sort of thing happen for sure. I've seen that sort of thing happen. People who aren't aware what it is. Oh, but it's near enough, isn't it? What's that band you like? Instead of it being like Guns N' Roses, it turns out being like Guns of the Apocalypse or some kind of like
a total mix-up. I got
exactly. You. It can happen it happens all the time. This sounds to me like an honest mistake. I would personally, if I was in that position, I would message back saying like, I'm happy to do it, but I'm not a WWE superstar. You are aware of that, right? Thing is that when you search for WWE superstar on Cameo, Lady Frost does come up.
Oh, I did not know.
Because Cameo classes all wrestlers as being under WWE, AEW, those tags.
Oh, I did not know that.
If you search for those tags, you find basically it searches for any wrestler. To be fair, it's quite a good way of condensing it all. But it is what it is.
I thought what you thought. I think Dad just got it wrong. I think obviously if it's her favorite wrestler, she obviously knows it's not part of WWE. He get them mixed up. Like when I used to talk to my gran, like she'd constantly get things mixed up. She'd kind of understand, but then she'd say, "You're like, all right, we know what it is." And I think it's just one of those cases. I do want to talk about my favorite example of somebody getting that mixed up though. It looks like it should be fake, but I'm not sure it is. The granddad that was asked to buy his kid something from Minecraft, and bought him a copy of Mein Kampf instead. And the mom's like, "Dad, like, what the beep is this?" He said he wanted Mein Kampf. Like, why would an 8-year-old kid want Mein Kampf?
By all accounts, it's actually a good read.
For an 8-year-old?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, if your 8-year-old actually wants mind camp, question the ask, delete your search immediately. No, I mean, for example, you don't play the game, but you know that Minecraft, you know about more than you care to because of Mason and Jackson, no doubt.
I hear Jackson talking about it frequently, and the number of times we get obscure references. I can't remember what it was the other day. There was something about, I don't know. I want to say it was Cauldron, and then he immediately said, "Oh, that's from Minecraft." I'm thinking, it's not just from Minecraft. This word occurs in other places in the English language, but yeah, he associates everything with Minecraft wherever possible, no matter how tenuous.
When I was at EGX last week, Graham, there actually was an entire zone dedicated to Minecraft. You could go there and you could have a 45-minute session. It was it was an amazing experience, and if you get a chance to go to one in your neck of the woods, and there is one in your neck of the woods, because you've got PAX East, which usually comes to Boston, but it could be anywhere down the East Coast, to be fair.
I was going to say, I wouldn't exactly say Boston's in my neck of the woods. That would be like you go up to Glasgow or something.
They've done PAXs all over the place, to be fair. They've done PAX West out in Seattle and in Los Angeles, and they've done one in Washington before. So there is if it's one in Washington, I would recommend very much let Jackson go along and try out some indie games.
I would say I don't have a problem with like taking them to things like that. Like, it's not my cup of tea, but if it's something they'd enjoy, I would definitely take them to that. I just realised that I didn't, because I always skip the start of View from the Top Rope. I always cut straight to the chase, and I forgot that I missed in the news. My suggestion was Matt wasn't available this week because he was at an ECW event. I've been trying to think of different variations of EGX and coming up with ones.
Was that for last week, you mean?
It was the episode from a couple of days ago as we're recording.
I was back.
No, and that's what I said. You'll be back from your... I said ECW instead of EGX. And last week on the show, I said you've been to an EMF concert, and I was trying to come up with as many things that was close to it as possible. But
the EMF is the European Monetary Fund, Graham, so thanks for that.
I didn't even know if you would be aware of that band anyway. I'm sure you've heard of the song Unbelievable, but I was like, besides that, I'm not sure you've been.
I'm personally right now, Graham. I think it's rocking my iPod at the moment. It's Elton John and Dua Lipa.
We had a little chat about that earlier. I forgot to. I said I was going. As soon as I said I'm finished, I was going to listen to it, and I had to take Mason to his lacrosse practice. Fine. Not a chance yet.
It's an absolute belter. It was. I mean, as usual, you and the Tekers chat early today, recording this on Saturday, obviously, before we do the show. But it's actually in a pre-show for a change, rather than being recorded after, because Graham's off the voltage again.
I am. I got my shirt on already, so I've told you got to show a little bit of brevity today. But
I will do my best.
I guess that you have 8 Devil's Advocates, and I think you said you have even more for me. I'm sure you would.
I don't have 8, but I have got a selection to choose from.
I do not, but there's no way that yours is possibly going to come up in the show, and for a similar reason. Well, I already shared you what I'm going to do with Ori, so there's no way that's coming up in the show either.
Indeed.
And if it does, I can just stay quiet anyway, and it won't affect the Devil's Advocate in any way.
It's all good, Graham. It's all good. I say I'm not worried about distracted. Either Chris is out at a round table event. He's actually in a full suit and bow tie.
Oh.
Full suit and bow tie, yeah, because all the chair people there. I couldn't get a ticket to this. It was booked. This was all before pre-pandemic. This was all booked for. Obviously postponed until now, obviously. And so yeah, massive get together dinner sort of thing. I missed out on risotto balls for starter, lamb for main, and tartare for pud. I'm quite glad that I'm there, to be brutally honest, because that sounds like a boring meal, to be brutally honest. Don't tell Greg Chris I said that. Wait. The whole network can hear me.
I thought I saw a picture you posted on Facebook. Were you playing darts again this week?
This week we for a bit of a social night, we decided to go down the local social club and for a bit of a get together, have a bit of a catch up, and we threw a few darts. And it felt good to throw some again, but at the same time, I've no interest in redoing a team game. That's what you're getting at.
Oh, I just wondered. I know it's something for people who've been listening to the show for a while. Like pre-pandemic, that would have been sometimes that was a factor in when we could actually record because we
It
didn't
was.
always used to record at the weekend. We used to record during the week. So sometimes it was like, no, I got a league match. It's like, okay, but
Dancing around League and Cup matches, it was a bit of a nightmare. I have no regrets about hanging up my flights, as it were. But at the same time, it was nice with the guys just to throw a few hours. Chris even threw some darts. Doesn't do that at all. And actually, our friend Mark, who's never thrown a dart in his life, went up there and was throwing darts. And to be fair, by the end of it, he was relatively consistent. I said, "You are aware that you're actually quite good." He's like, "I've never thrown before." I'm like, "Doesn't matter.
wow,
Sometimes some people have natural ability."
yeah,
And
yeah.
he said, "Well, one's like better than others." So I called over our mate Jim, and I was like, "Jim, take my darts, take your darts, throw all of them exactly the same." And he threw them all exactly the same way, and it all went at exactly the same place. I said, "Any good player can pick up a set of darts and throw it of them."
Hmm.
Okay, this myth about different weights and all these things, it's mainly superstition. It's mainly
Well, you can
there
feel
are
it
certain things about it, but
when you're holding a dart. If it's a different set, you can kind of feel anyway. And if it feels a little heavier, you'll throw it a little bit harder to compensate. So it's not like you're throwing exactly the same if it's a different weapon of
but
choice.
it's not the big difference that people claim to be. There are subtle differences, yes, but
I'm
it's
sure for
different.
the top players, it makes a much bigger difference. But for your average player down the pub, it's yeah, it is. Same when I play disc golf. Like some of the discs that those people get, like they're spending fortunes on them. I'm like, that's a waste for me. Like I just don't. It's not going to make that level of difference to me. But I'm sure the top players can definitely notice the difference.
Well, that may be so great, but in fairness, they're paid millions and millions of pounds in the UK for sponsorship money.
Oh, I just remembered something. I totally forgot about this. I actually bought myself some toys this week. I don't normally do this. I was looking
Is
on
this PG, Graham?
This is PG. I promise. It just reminded me we're talking about disc golf, and I saw a clip of a pro player throwing a disc at 900 feet, which is ridiculous. And it was like an Aerobie, which was a big toy in the 80s in Britain, and I didn't know you could still get them. So I was like, oh, I wonder if you could still get them. So I went on Amazon, and sure enough, you can still get them. $25 for a set of three. So I got the big ring. I got one that's slightly smaller, and then the triangle was my favorite when I was a kid because it's like a boomerang, and it works absolutely brilliant. I haven't had a chance to go out and play with them yet, but I am very keen to get out there. I've got to find a big space.
Aerobee, is that basically a sombrero with a meal cut out?
Pretty much, yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it's not like a disc that I would normally play disc golf with. Yes, it's got the big hole in the middle, and it's got the thing, the
We
Saturn, I guess.
we had that. We had one of those growing up. We did. Although I have to admit that most of the time I wore it like a hat.
People always carry them. That's what I did. Used to, unless I'm remembering how big they were, I'm pretty sure you used to carry them over your neck or
Yeah,
over the top.
I wore it over my head like a hat the whole time because
Yeah,
yeah, we weren't allowed to throw it because
they went a
we broke
long
things.
way though. I do remember that. That first time I remember throwing one, it was like, whoa, that thing
Well,
goes crazy.
it was all filled when you were a lad, wasn't it?
Well, it was actually. I used to live right next to a park.
Yeah, we didn't. We lived on it. We
Ah,
lived on a bloody estate, didn't we?
you got the beach. You can go down to the beach and throw.
We at 8 years old, you don't get to go to the beach when you want to go.
Oh,
You go when
well,
your parents want to go.
I got you. I got you. Fair
And
enough.
Dad
Fair enough.
never wanted to go to the beach. Mm. Hey, I want to quickly do a bit of a thank you, Graham. If that's all
Okay.
right.
Sure.
Um, as people may have noticed if they're watching Techers earlier, I'm decked out in my Prostate Cancer UK shirt, and I've got my water bottle later. Well, actually, not just a water bottle. It's also
Nice.
in general. This was sent to me free of charge by Prostate Cancer UK because I got over £300 donated, and that is partially down to yourself and some of the amazing viewers and listeners we have. It was brilliant. The final totals come in for the entire March to month thing for the whole of UK, and they raised £370,000.
Very nice. Very.
And just be a small part of that was great. And I look forward to doing some more to help in the future. So again, thank you to everybody, mainly because I get this amazing water bottle, and it actually holds hot drinks for 24 hours at hot temperature. Brilliant.
Pretty
I
decent.
haven't put a hot one in there yet. And to be fair, I don't want to. It's kind of my water bottle full when I go to Florida.
Mhm.
So um, Yeah, thank you to everybody who sponsored me and donated and supported. The whole time that EGX Graham, I was doing crazy numbers of steps as well. One day though, I was kind of pissed off,
Uh-oh.
and the reason why I was pissed off. Graham, can you imagine why I was pissed off?
Your legs were getting tired?
Well, yes, but the particular day that I was extremely pissed off.
Oh, today?
There was a particular day that I was annoyed because of the amount of steps I did that day.
I saw our good friend Paul managed yesterday to get 9,999 steps. He said, I don't even care. That is kind of funny. I thought he always finished on an even number, to be honest, but hey, I guess not.
I guess not as well. I'm just trying to find the day in question because
You get 10,998 or something crazy like that.
it was very close to it, Graham. I just there you go. For Friday, the 8th of October.
You had almost the same thing. 10,999. Very nice.
I could not have timed that if I tried. I could not if I tried. It was fantastic.
Day by 35 steps because I forgot to carry my phone with me when I went to the bathroom right before I went to bed, and I was like, "Oh, I got 35 steps." I was like, "That's fine, I'll get them." And my phone was charging. I just didn't think. I was like, "I don't care." On my little spreadsheet I'm doing, I put 10,000 steps because I know in my heart that I did that last 35 steps. But so you can get odd numbers, huh?
You can get odd numbers for sure, but that, of course, if I had that wouldn't have counted towards my 11,000, of course.
Ah, you would have failed.
One
Yep,
step out.
challenge would have failed. That's brutal.
That's why I made sure it went through. I also want to give a massive, massive thank you to everybody who's been listening to the show recently. It's been doing really well in the charts. Last week's episode is just a few short, shy of 100 just on SoundCloud alone already. Thank you so much. And in general, I mean, what can you say about people who tune in and say that they're fans of the show when they come on the show? It humbles you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, our guest this week, I had a blast working with them recently, and I've wanted them on this show for a while, Graham. So hopefully, it's going to be as epic as we expect it to be.
I'm sure it will be. I did notice you're actually holding 4 of the top 5 spots on I was going to say the popularity chart. I can't think the exact word. It begins with P, but
the top tracks.
Oh, is it just top tracks? Okay,
top tracks,
I was struggling for a word that wasn't even there.
I can't claim that, Graham, because the top one is actually Alex.
Oh, it is. Oh, in that case, then I retract my statement.
But I'm part of it. But it's Alex's baby, that one. And
I did see that the episode that we did with John was over 100. He actually told me, he said, I mentioned to like 5 of my friends I'm going to be on the show. Go check it out. So thanks to John for doing that as well. Yeah, word of mouth, definitely. People have kind of been spreading the word a little bit. We do get those occasional ones where it's like, oh, we've got a fan that we didn't even know about. And yeah, we're growing steadily. I'm going to say, we're having fun doing it. That's always the main thing. But it is nice to see that yeah, the numbers are going up. People are listening. People are liking what they're listening to. Otherwise, I guess our numbers would start dropping again. But yeah,
it is great, and thank you everyone for supporting us, and we're going to keep on going. Anything else you want to talk about, Graham, on the pre-show?
I had 0 notes except for what I wrote down at the Lady Frostboat. That was it. I had absolutely nothing. If necessary, I was going to talk about one small thing that was a potential bad cop moment, but actually got solved just as we were coming on air. Couldn't find a remote control for the TV. Could not find it anywhere. I looked, put my hand down the side of the couch, and oh my god, it was disgusting. Like the boys' popcorn was down there. I was like, ah. Anyway, that issue has been resolved now. So I found.
Did you find the TV remote? Where was it?
It was right where it was supposed to be, in clear sight, and I thought it was the remote control for the light switch. We have a lamp downstairs. I got the two mixed up. It's embarrassing, but hey.
Mason Jackson, for that, you get a birthday present each next year.
I thought that they probably picked it up and then just dropped it down, because most of the time I watch stuff on my laptop, not on the TV, because it's just more convenient. So.
I know what you mean about TV remotes, though, Graham. Back when I was living at home with my mum, once when my stepdad's kids came around, this was before you know, Yes, that never happened. Our youngest sister Annie would come round, and she'd wander off up the garden with the TV remote in her hands. We're sitting there. She's left on a music channel. She's wandered up the garden with the TV remote in her hand, and we can't turn it over because the buttons on the box don't work because the box is so old. So we're like, well, where the hell's it gone? And then we see her up there. She's using it like a phone in the garden.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Kids
boys.
are amazing for sure.
Yes, they are. Oh, I'll tell you one thing I'll share with you that I heard this week. So we're only, what are we, just over 2 months away from Christmas? I'm
Yeah.
normally well prepared. I don't have anything prepared. Normally I have like a stash ready for the boys. I just don't this year. So I was talking to Mel, I was like if they said anything, apparently Jackson wants a car. I was like, oh, awesome.
Depends, Graham, on the car he wants.
I'm thinking more like the Premier League ones that people have been talking about recently. The miniature ones that you can drive. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he would like one of those. Like, we have nowhere we could use that anyway. We have nowhere to store that. But I'm like, reach for the stars, right?
Well,
we can only see no.
There are a variety of other things you could probably sort for. To be fair, there's nothing wrong with wanting that.
Correct. Yeah, I'm going to say if you ask,
I mean, he's 7.
Of course, I wouldn't have expected anything less from a 7-year-old.
Do you still ask for lists from the boys?
My mother-in-law asks them for lists, and I'm not sure they provide. I think she has one thing that he asked for, but normally she'll make them sit down and write things down, and then she can. It's not going to be guaranteed, but she wants like a selection, and then she can pick like 2 or 3 things from the list, probably something like.
Well, Thursday, of course, Graham, is 21st of October, and that's the day after my older sister's birthday. She's going to be 39 this year. So next year she's going to get the fact that she's going to be 40 rubbed in her face, of course. But it's what siblings do. Well, the day after the day after that, of course, is the 21st, which means that there's now no birthdays between then and Christmas, which means Mum requests a Christmas list from everybody, and that's despite the fact that we are all in our 30s now. And she demanded them from all of our partners and all of the grandchildren.
Jeez,
trying to get it out of my brother is the worst person to come to this, and he'll admit this himself if he sees this. He'll admit that in the comments below. Asking him to do a list is like trying to get blood from a T-Rex skeleton. Impossible.
Gotcha. Hey, we better wrap this up because our guest is going to be probably by her lonesome in the Good Cop Bad Cop recording studios. Otherwise,
absolutely, guys, we'll be back next week, I believe. We'll take care. So yeah, listen to the show tomorrow. We're out of here.
Bye. You click and stop.